Hey guys, new episode. Today we're talking about streamers. Most of us stream via things like Spotify and Apple Music, so having a streamer is a must. There's two ways to go about this. A, you have an existing system, maybe an integrated amplifier that doesn't have any wireless connectivity options in terms of Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, in which case you can simply add a device. Or maybe you're setting up a brand new system and you want to go in for a one-box solution that both amplifies your speakers as well as offers you connectivity options. I've shortlisted 5 potential solutions for you. Solutions that will either plug into an existing amplifier or in some cases standalone boxes. With that being said, let's get started. Hey guys, at number 1 we have the DNM AS04. DNM is an Indian brand, though my understanding is that they simply get in sort of Chinese products rebadged, which is not a bad thing. The DNM AS04 is a streamer and amplifier, so it gives you 25 watts per channel to directly connect to speakers. It's also got Bluetooth, it has Wi-Fi. Funnily enough, it uses the WiiM app, which is interesting, and I'll get into that next. So it's a fairly affordable solution. If you don't need the amplification aspect, you can simply take the analog out and hook it up to your existing amplifier. If you do need a full-fledged sort of one-box solution, then you can simply add speakers and you're good to go. If you're on a budget and you desperately need to integrate Wi-Fi and Bluetooth streaming, this is the device I'd probably start with. Next up, we have the WiiM Mini, made famous by YouTuber Darko Audio. Very similar to the DNM, nicer finish though, looks a lot more presentable. Slightly better processing power, 24-bit. Has standard features again, an analog out, optical in, offers gapless playback, which is a nice feature to have. Similar performance to the DNM. I couldn't tell, or at least I don't remember any major difference. They both use the same WiiM app, so my assumption is that there's a lot of shared circuitry between both units. Both devices offer multi-room, so as you start adding these up in the house, they'll all connect via the app, and you can sort of send music to individual zones in the house. So a cool feature if you do plan on going down the multi-room audio route. Not available very easily in India, so that's a bit of a drawback. Typically retails for about $99 in the US, so if you have friends or family coming from there, that's probably the best way to get them. Easily the best value for money product in this list, again provided you can find it. Next we have the Audiolab 6000N, very well reviewed. I haven't actually personally used the device, at least not for very long. I've interacted with them at sort of events and at people's homes. Slots right into your existing amplifier, supports 24-bit, uses the DTS Play-Fi app to really communicate and to set up, which I found a little clunky. The only real major drawback that I could see with the unit. Retails for about 50K. Not easy to find these days, but I assume they should stock fairly soon. A good investment if you need a hi-fi solution. I think the WiiM and the DNM are great for the value, for the price, but if you're looking for a serious solution and you really want to get the best out of your streaming and you have access to things like Tidal and other high-res streaming services, then I would start with the Audiolab 6000N. Next we have the iFi Audio Stream. Similar performance to the Audiolab at about 15,000 rupees less, typically retails for about 35K. Small form factor, supports 24-bit, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, everything that you would need from a streamer. Again, reserved for a more sort of refined hi-fi enthusiast. So if you're already well along your journey, or if you have a decent hi-fi system already, this is the sort of thing that I would invest in. If you've got a basic system, or if you're going to pair these up with, say, a basic set of active bookshelves, then I would still consider the WiiM or the DNM. Next, we have the Marantz PM7000N, which is making its second appearance on my recent set of videos. It's already made the top 5 for dedicated stereo amplifiers. So obviously, it's a full-fledged amplifier with streaming functionality, about 60 watts per channel. So again, can power most speakers out there, including floor standers, at least high-efficiency floor standers for sure. Has Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, everything else that you can expect. Multi-room playback through the EOS app, which is really the only drawback. The HEOS app is a little clunky, not really my favorite piece of application to use, but I think that for most people shouldn't be much of a problem. Retails for about maybe 85 to 90K, so decent value for money. Again, you're getting the Marantz name, you're getting the reliability and the performance, plus Marantz after sales is exceptional. So definitely a very solid choice for someone who wants to enter the hi-fi world and needs streaming as part of their sort of critical listening aspect. As my bonus listings, I'm going to list the Bluesound Node as well as Powernode. Bluesound is owned by NAD, which is owned by the Lenbrook holding company. NAD obviously pioneers in sort of Class D technology. They have a very sort of cultish audience. Bluesound are my top pick for hi-fi enthusiast level streamer. The Powernode is a full-fledged amplifier, 80 watts per channel, has HDMI and things like that, whereas the Node is strictly a streamer. The only potential issue right now is that both of them aren't available in India since they don't have a distributor here. My assumption is that issue should be resolved by the end of the year. You should expect to spend between maybe 55 and 65 on just the Node, which is just a streamer, and upwards of maybe 95,000 for the full-fledged amplifier / streamer. The only potential issue with the Nodes is that they are driven almost primarily by the app. The app is fairly intense. There's a lot of stuff going on, so not everyone's real cup of tea. It is, however, my favorite device. I have one at home, and I wholeheartedly recommend to anybody who wants to get into the game. As a bit of a footnote, it supports MQA. MQA is a new sort of lossless compression technology that's been getting a lot of eyeballs, sometimes for the wrong reasons. However, if you're going to invest in things like Tidal for playback or listen to a lot of MQA certified music, this is probably the choice that I would go with. So that's my list of my recommendations for top 5 value for money amplifier / streamer amplifier. If you are beginning your journey, you've got a very basic system up, I'd look between the DNM or the WiiM, depending on what you can find. If you're looking for something a little more serious, it's probably between the Stream from iFi or the Audiolab 6000N, though the Stream seems to provide much greater value for money, being almost 15K cheaper. From a serious perspective, I think the Node is a winner, the standard Node. If you're looking for amplification and streaming capability, out of one box is probably obviously between the 7000N and the Powernode, depending on what you can find. I think if you don't need the HDMI functionality, the 7000N is probably a better value for money bet. However, if you need the HDMI, then you probably have to go in for the Powernode. Everything that I've spoken about is available for purchase in links in the description below. I've also got a basic primer about streaming and DACs and the chips used, etc., that you can read over. If you've got comments, suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. And I would love to hear about potentially new ideas that I can integrate onto the show. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you again soon.